Hi children, good evening one and all. In today's class, we will discuss about physical changes and its characteristics and its properties. We will discuss one by one. First we go for definition of a physical change. A physical change is the change that alters some specific properties of matter. Suppose you consider water to be matter, it will alter the state of matter from solid to liquid, liquid to vapor, okay? Or if you take any of the pen or any of mud, soil or something, or chalk piece you take, the size can be reduced, okay? So like that, size, shape can be altered. So these are all come under physical change, but here the composition does not change. I mean the matter which is existed in it will not change, okay? If it changes, it is called as chemical change. In simple words, physical change means the material may change its size, shape, color or state, but it is still the same substance. That means water, it is in the form of ice, or it may be in the form of liquid, or it may be in the form of vapor. It is H2O molecule only. So that is the thing. So it is same material only, the form is different. Before it was a very big material, it just converted into small materials. So we go for the examples of physical change. Cutting of paper. While cutting of paper, it reduces its size only, but the composition will not change. I mean melting of ice, boiling of water, dissolving sugar in water. Okay, sugar disappears, but it is still there in the sugar. So it is a physical change. Bending of an iron or wire, bending of a wire. Okay, its shape has been changed. Crushing a chalk piece, only size is changed there. Okay, so these are all come under physical changes. There no new substance is formed. The chemical composition remains the same. In water there is H2O, and even in steam there will be H2O only. Usually it is temporary and can be reversed by physical methods. With the help of physical methods we can reverse it. The best example is ice. If you heat it, convert it to water. If you heat it further, convert it to steam or vapor. If you cool it, it converts into water, and if you still cool it, it will get converted into ice. Example: melting, boiling, dissolving, cutting, bending. These are all the examples. And physical change changes how something looks. The look of the object is going to be changed, but not the product or content of the object. It remains same. So understanding physical change helps us in daily life experiments and in many useful applications. Next, characteristics or properties of physical changes. There no new substances are formed during the physical change. In physical change, the material may change size, shape and color of state, but substance will be same. Okay, the material will not change. So we already discussed this example: ice getting converted to water, water converted into steam. If you cool it once again, it just converts into ice, like that. Get solidifies. What do this example tells us? Ice, water and steam are different forms of the same substance, and the substance is H2O. Salt dissolves in water but does not change into a new substance. No new substances are formed in case of physical change. These changes are usually temporary and can be reversed. Only physical properties like size, shape, color is going to be changed, or state may be changed, but not the properties. When we add common salt to water, salt solution is going to be formed. Salt with water is called salt solution. No change takes place in the molecules of salt and water. I mean, how many number of salt molecules are there before adding will be same as after adding, after dissolving. On evaporation, water evaporates, leaving behind the salt there itself. The salt remains same and no new substance is formed, and the same amount of salt will be present after water has been evaporated. Okay, so molecular view, that is hydrogen, oxygen and other atoms. So that is solid, liquid and gas. Generally in case of solid, the particles will be very close. So we will see in the same region we will expect large amount of particles. And liquid, there exists a small gap between the molecules in the liquid, so that we in the same region we will expect little bit less amount of molecules when compared to solid. So in gas or steam, it is a vapor where the particles will be very far away from each other, so that they appears to be far apart from each other. In physical change, no new substances are formed and the composition remains same. Only physical properties, not the substance itself, change. Remember that. Physical change can be generally reversed. We all know it. See, some physical changes can undone and the substance can brought back into original state. Original state. Undone in the sense reversed. It can be reversed. For example, zinc oxide on heating, what happens? Generally the zinc oxide will be yellow in color. If you heat it, it just convert into white color. If you further cool it, it will come back to yellow color zinc oxide only. So zinc oxide is reversible, so it is physical change. Heating change into white, but cooling brings back to yellow again. So the change is reversed. Okay, so all chemicals will not be a chemical change. There are few chemicals, though it is a chemical, it forms a physical change after heating. Next, iron and magnet. So what we have to do, you take some iron filings, small pieces, very small pieces called filings, and if you put the magnet near the iron filings, they get attracted and hammered into small pieces. So if you then hammer the magnet, what happens when you hammer the magnet? It loses its magnetism. Afterwards, when these small pieces are brought together and are not hammered, magnetism comes back and change is reversed. So if you take the small pieces of magnet, each small piece will act as a magnet, and if you brought near the magnet, they will stick together. They behave just like a magnet. Their size has been decreased, but not its magnetism. Okay. One more thing, solid wax. Heat the solid wax, it just convert into liquid. If you cool the wax, it again convert into solid. So this is also a physical change. Here the change has been reversed. And what makes these changes special? There the no new substance is formed, only physical properties of the substances has been changed. The composition of the substance, I mean the content which is present in the substance before breaking and after breaking are same in case of magnet, and even before heating and after heating in case of wax also the composition is same. They can be undone, I mean reversed by simple methods like cooling, joining, okay, etc. Some more example, melting of ice and freezing of water is a reversible change. Boiling of water and condensation of steam is also a reversible change. Boiling of water, if you boil the water, it just convert into vapor or steam. If you condense it, it come back to water. And stretching a rubber band and releasing it back. When you stretch a rubber band and release it back, what happens? It will come back. So it is a physical change. So why this is important? It helps us to save the resources, useful in daily life and in industries, helps in many natural processes. Changes in weight during the physical change. When physical change happens, does the weight remain same or change? Suppose there is an ice piece. If you heat it, it convert into water. Does the weight of ice piece and weight of the water are both are same or wrong or not? I mean mass you have to consider here. In physical change, the amount of matter remains same, so the weight does not change. In general, we should not speak here weight, we should speak as mass. Okay, there is a little difference between weight and mass. We have already told in the last chapter of physics, energy and work. There you can look back. What is the difference between weight and mass? Weighing a solid wax of around 10 grams and after that burn this solid wax. So wax melts on heating. Again you weight it. It should weigh the same thing, that is 10 grams. It should weight only 10 grams. I mean the weight does not change. I mean number of molecules present inside should not change. Example 2, evaporation of water from salt solution. Take water in a cup, around 20 grams of salt, you add it, you dissolve in water, you will get what is known as salt solution, which is a mixture of salt and water. Heat the solution to evaporate water. What happens? You remain with the salt. Salt is going to be left. If you weigh it further, its weight should be 20 grams only. Okay, there should not be weight loss. Salt solution, salt left after that. Weighing of salt remains same. I mean salt in the salt solution and salt left after evaporation should be same. So physical changes do not change the amount of matter. I mean weight does not change in case of physical change. Even you take a paper and weigh it, you make it into different pieces so that if you weigh all the pieces, the weight will be same. Like that, therefore the weight remains same before and after the change. Melting, dissolving and evaporation are the examples of physical change. In case of physical change, only a little amount of heat is going to be absorbed or released. We shall see how. In some physical changes, very little amount of heat is taken in or give out. I mean absorbed or released. So the temperature does not change much. We see the examples. Dissolve the sugar in water. Sugar disappears in water. We do not feel much difference in temperature. If you take normal water and if you add sugar to it and dissolve it, if you see the temperature of common water and sugar solution, then much temperature difference will not be there now. Okay, sound is produced in ringing a bell, but the bell does not become hot or cold. There the temperature change you cannot observe. Air goes inside the balloon, gets bigger, we do not feel much change in temperature. So most physical changes takes place without changing temperature very much. Only a little heat, which is negligible, we say. Negligible amount of heat may be absorbed or released sometimes or even none. You remember that in case of physical change. So change starts when start the physical change. Little or no heat is given out. Very little heat is absorbed or released in case of physical change. Okay, temperature almost remains same after the change. In some physical changes, only little heat is absorbed or given off. There is no big change in temperature, big heat change. That is why such changes are called physical changes, and these are not chemical changes. In case of chemical change, there is a chance of huge change of temperature variation. Okay, but in physical sense, it is not like that. Making baking soda with water, barely, it feels very lightly warm. Opening a perfume bottle, no heat exchange takes place. Cutting paper, no heat. Tearing cloth, does not, you won't get any heat. These are usually small heat exchangers, I mean physical change. Little heat in or little heat out, which is negligible. Okay, this is in case of physical change need only very little amount of heat and the temperature stays almost same. Temperature will not be different in case of physical change. So children, with this, these are the topics that which we have discussed in this particular class, and in this class we try to learn something new concept which is interesting, and we will see that. Why does it burn when an ant bites? If the ant bites, you will get some burning in the sense you are somewhat that is called as burning. Generally we feel Telugu noppi antaru. Okay na, that is called burning, manta antuntam in Telugu, right? When ant bite our skin, it put a small amount of acid inside. Okay, while ant bites on the skin, it inserts some little bit amount of acid. The ant will insert. This acid bothers the skin and make it feel hot. Okay, it reacts with our skin and it feels hot. The skin will be heated. Okay, little bit. The area can turn red and look little puffy like this. Okay, our body tries to fight the acid to keep us safe. Because of this itchy or burning feeling you are going to get it. Because at that time our body is trying to fight with this acid to keep our body safe. While that in that situation we feel burning sensation. After a while the feeling goes away on its own. So until you have that burning feeling, ఆ మంట అనేది ఉన్నంత వరకు మన బాడీ అనేది అది రిలీజ్ చేసిన యాసిడ్తో ఫైట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఆ ఫైట్ చేసి దాన్ని రికవర్ చేయడానికి ఇది హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. యాసిడ్ యాంట్ బైట్, ద యాసిడ్ విల్ ఎంటర్, స్కిన్ రియాక్ట్స్ with that acid. So while reacting you feel itching or burning and it itself goes away slowly. So when ant bites, the acid that goes inside we call it as formic acid. Okay, it releases formic acid inside the body. Okay children, likewise we will learn the new concepts daily in our class. Please try to follow our class. Bye.